Welcome to the Trill and BA Show. I'm your host, Felicia Ann Rose Anuha, aka the Trillest MBA you will ever know. And I'm here to help you survive and thrive in corporate America by giving you the truth and being as real as only I can be. Hey guys, happy Sunday. So, it is the Sunday after Thanksgiving. Hopefully you are full, your bellies are full, your heart is full. Hopefully you got to hug somebody, love on somebody. Hopefully you were surrounded by love and you didn't worry about work and you didn't care because you should have taken vacation, sis. Vacation, okay? And if you didn't, I need you to get in there and schedule some time off. Even if it's just like a sick day or something, like I need you guys to play hooky, right? Raina told y'all play hooky. Shout out to Raina over at Hooky Wellness. So listen, guys, we've got like 4 or 5 more weeks of 2021 and goodbye 2021. Like, please, God, please, please, please. I need a better 2022. Okay? Like, even years tend to be better in my spirit. The exception is 2020 because 2020 started off trash. So listen, 2020 was trash. 2021 was trash. For me, there were so many more years before 2020 that was trash. I just need peace, tranquility, love, light. That is my prayer for 2022. I want all the laughs. I want all the shenanigans, like good, fun shenanigans. I want all the non-adulting things. I want to eat sweets and not gain weight. Okay? I just want a break from the ghetto-ness that is Earth. That's my prayer for all of us. Whew. So hopefully we will have it. Now, y'all know this is not a full episode because I already started off with a prayer. This is part 3 of Work Protocols, Shit You Need to Know for the Workplace. And this episode is inspired by friend to the show, Michael Pittman. If you haven't seen his episode from this season, go back and check it out. I'll drop a link in the show notes. But Michael left his employer and he is going on to greener pastures and new beginnings at a new company. And I'm so excited. So we were having this conversation and he asked me, which I was like, nigga, you been in this game. You know what this is. Like, you really asking me for my advice? He was like, no, for real. Like, what should I be doing in my new role the first 90 days? And I was like, well, and I start rattling off things. And I was like, ooh, I should be recording myself. This is a podcast episode. So today I'm going to condense that conversation because, you know, I like to talk. So I'm going to condense that conversation into the number one thing you need to do when you're starting a new job. And then I'm going to break down the 2 main ways tactically how you do that. So that's what we're going to talk about today in Work Protocols, Shit You Need to Know for the Workplace. So now, what is the number one thing you need to do when you start a new job? Control the narrative. You have to control your narrative. That should be your number one goal. You are controlling how people see you, perceive you, receive you, just all things about your name and your working brand in the office, if you want to say that. I really hate that whole personal branding thing, because to me, if we were doing personal branding, you'd be able to be your goddamn self. But this ain't what this is. This ain't what this is. This is not what corporate is or the workplace is. Like, you just can't be yourself. That's not what you need to be. What you need to be is the most happiest version of yourself that fits into the workplace culture. All right, let me say that one more time for the people in the back, and just so you can hear that, because it's important. Who you need to be to play this game and get ahead, you need to be your most happiest self that fits into the workplace culture. I know. So basically, that's not you. That's a facet of you. It's not you. Just like I go to work, I'm not me. I'm the happiest version of me that fits into my culture at work. At least I try to be. I mean, it's very hard. The motherfuckers be getting on my goddamn nerves. I just be like, what the fuck is this shit? I feel that you felt that, and I appreciate you for listening to my shenanigans, because this is my nigga self on my nigga podcast in my niggadom, and this is where I'm happy. But when I go to work, I get paid to show up, and I need to show up in a way that translates. How do I do that? I control my narrative. How do I control my narrative? By showing up as the most positive version of me that fits into the workplace culture. Now, that's the overarching thing. But now, tactically, when you're starting a new job, you need to do the following ASAP. Now, I want to debunk a myth. Because there's a myth that, when you start a new job, what you need to do is you need to hurry up and learn the business and be super know everything. No, that's not it. Because if that was it, there would be no mediocre mics. Think about it. Now, the first thing you need to do is make friends with the admins and get the org charts. I've talked about this several times, guys, but I'm so sincere. You need organization charts. That's an org chart. You need to know who is who and what do they do. Who is who and what do they do? Who is who and what do they do? Sing it with me. Who is who? Do they do? That is the most important thing you need to know coming into a new job. Well, why? Because you got to know who you got to control your narrative with. You got to know who you're talking to. You got to try to learn them, understand them, so you can figure out how to best effectively communicate with them who you are. And the number one thing you need to do is quickly, in your first 30 days, get with your new manager and get with anybody you know at the company that you knew before starting. And you need to meet with them and say, okay, from your perspective, who are the most influential leaders in the organization? Like, basically, if you go into a room in a meeting and that person's in there, everybody's going to listen to what they have to say with bated breath. Like, Bob said what? Oh, wait, Bob's talking. Like, you know how people be like multitasking in meetings and stuff, but then this dude starts talking and people be like, oh, wait a minute. And they start really paying attention. Or It's the person who has made themselves indispensable. And everybody says, oh, well, such and such is supposed to do this, and such would tell us that. Normally we go through such and such. Like if you keep hearing their name over and over and over again, you need to know that person. That person needs to be your friend. Now, okay, you know what I mean when I say friend. They ain't gonna be your real friend. That's gonna be your little work friend, but it ain't your real friend, because ain't none of these people your little friends, okay? Okay, just be clear. Just words mean things. Don't want to confuse y'all. These people are not your friends. Now, with that said, though, what you gonna do is you gonna make Bob over there like you, and he gonna think y'all friends. Okay? Because then Bob's gonna help you be successful in your role and at the company. So, after you get the org chart and you've had a few conversations, you want to start setting up coffee chats with all the influential people. And the great thing is you're brand new. You have every excuse in the world to do this. Why? Because you're new. Who doesn't want to help the new person, or at least pretend to help the new person? Because I really hate it when new people make meetings with me. I have enough meetings. I don't want to meet with you. But that's neither here nor there. Because guess what I do? I meet with them. Why? Because I got to control my narrative. So they're going to meet with you. So set up time. Hey, I hear you're working on XYZ and I'm really interested in that. And I think my role may be of some help. I'm new here, so I'd love to set up time and get your perspective. And then make sure when you set up time with them, you bring an about me slide. You bring a one-pager about you, about your previous experience, what you've done, have your little picture on it, and you slide it on over to them. I guess I should create a template for my clients. I already have. If you're my clients, you know all about the about me slide. But the great thing about this is it's a leave behind, and it tells people what you want them to say about you to other people. Why? Because they're not going to pay attention. Also, it makes you look super organized when you come with an about me slide and a takeaway and to give it to them. And then also you can send the electronic version as a follow-up to keep in touch and to create another reason to create another interaction or touch point with them after your initial meeting, so that you can keep the meetings going and say, hey, I really enjoyed talking to you. It was great perspective. As I'm ramping up, can I meet with you in about 90 days? And then schedule that meeting 90 days out. Keep the momentum going. Again, start with the most influential people first, and you want to create those connections and build those relationships out the gate. This is so key, guys, because without people, you're not going to make it. And I know we have so been taught, just outwork them. Just outwork them. Y'all, we're not in the age where you can outwork people. We're not in factories anymore. Like there are factories, but if you're listening to this podcast and you work in a factory, hit me up. And I mean work on the floor of the factory, right? Hit me up, because I need to know that you're listening, and then I need to build content for you. Because right now my content is for people who are sitting at desk taking, hour 15 lunch break. Probably don't have to clock out for lunch, probably. You're trying to climb the corporate ladder. You're not trying to work on the factory floor. There's nothing wrong with working on the factory floor. Let me clarify, Lord, I don't need to be canceled. But what I'm saying is you're trying to get to the C-suite. And what I'm also saying is, if you are listening to this podcast and you work on the factory floor and you want to get to the C-suite, come holler at your girl. I want to help you, right? Like, that's why I'm here, because this is the shit that you need to know in order to get to the C-suite. Now, the second thing that you need to do to control your narrative, and this is so important, because the first, get the org chart, set up the meetings, start the relationships in the organization. That's you giving information. The second piece is you taking in information. So you want to listen and learn as much as possible, which means refrain from any criticism, especially if you're an experienced hire like Michael. It'll be very easy for him to go into his new organization and say, what the fuck have y'all been doing? This is some bullshit. Like, it would be very easy for him to do that. Don't do that. Actually, just shut the fuck up, okay? Because you got to understand, sometimes things aren't really as they initially appear to be, especially when you're new to an organization. You really have to fall back, shut the fuck up, and look around and connect the dots. If you open your mouth, ask a clarifying question. Seek for understanding, right? And this also helps you control your narrative, because then people will be like, oh my God, we love Felicia. She's so thoughtful. She asked if she could share her thoughts. She didn't like impose on us. Oh, we're doing it wrong. Like, people should be saying, your first 9 days, people should be saying, oh, Felicia listened and she asked great questions. That should be part of your narrative. That first year of your new job, that should be like, people like, oh, I love she asked great questions. And there's a difference between she asked great questions and, oh, there go Felicia again asking questions. Because I've been in both camps. Also, how do we balance listening and learning with the need to share your POV? Because you do have to share your point of view. That's why they hired you. So this is what you do. Instead of freely sharing, diarrhea of the mouth, don't do it. If you're in a meeting and, all this back and forth and you feel like, oh, I have something to contribute, the way you want to start out is, oh, wow, guys, this is really great. Again, your most positive self. Okay. Oh, wow, guys, this is really great. Is it okay if I share my thoughts, a couple thoughts? I mean, I'm new, and so I may not have the full picture, but just from this conversation, I want to share some things. If that's okay. If not, I can table it. I don't want to derail the conversation. Human behavior dictates that I am going to be counter to what you just said. I want to contradict what you just said. You said, basically, I have some stuff to share, but you probably not going to want to hear it. Which now means, oh no, bitch, I got to hear it. That's just human behavior. So now they've given you permission to share your ideas and your thoughts, which then, because they're going to be great because you're Black excellence, period, right? Like, they're going to be amazing. And things they probably haven't thought of because you're coming in with fresh eyes. And they're going to be like, oh my God, that's so amazing. Oh my God, we didn't even think of that. Oh, that is so cool. You know how to do that? Tell us more, right? But pick and choose. Like, don't do it every single time, because first of all, they don't need to know everything you're thinking, right? Like, it's just unnecessary. Don't have to do that. But you do need to, flex that rock star a little bit here and there, again, to control and drive your narrative. Okay? So let's do a real quick recap. And then I'm gonna go take a nap, because I'm sure I'm still eating leftover dressing and honey baked ham and shit I shouldn't be eating, but I'm gonna eat it all because I'm gonna enjoy this Thanksgiving, because fuck it, I'm alive after a pandemic, or in the midst of a pandemic, because this shit ain't over. Okay, Felicia, gotta breathe. Now, gotta control your narrative. Whether you start a new job or not, you gotta control your narrative. But when you're starting a new job, the 2 quick ways to get this quickly under your belt, under your control, and you're in the driver's seat. 1, make friends with the admin, get the org charts, set up the coffee chats with the influential people, build relationships. So number one, you're starting to build relationships. And I just gave you all the steps to build relationships. Number two, refrain from criticizing, listen, learn, gather facts, and then strategically ask for permission to share and then flex on them hoes. Okay? You do those things in your first 90 days and you'll be off to a good start. And you should also be starting to see where you should be on the way to becoming somebody identified as top talent or somebody they need to fast track, somebody punching above their weight. And you're off to the races to your first promotion. Just like that. So now, guys, listen. I am coming with a new program in the new year, and it's all focused on getting yourself fast-tracked for a promotion. Whether you're starting out at the new job, whether you've been there for a while, as long as you're not on a PIP, I got you. I mean, even if you own a PIP, like we got to do some other things first. We can get you out of PIP world, and then I got you on the promotion. But you can't go from PIP to promotion, like from 0 to 100. That's not how this works. There's a lot of relationship building work you got to do if you're on a PIP that might not actually can be able to be done at your current company. You might just need to leave, sis. But that's for another episode. Now, I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to go, prepare myself for all of the itis that I'm about to have. I'm excited, y'all. This is going to be a good 2022. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. And if any of y'all know who my husband is, send him to me. All right. So now, if you have any quick questions or anything you need that I can answer quickly, email me, ask@trillandba.com. I will be happy to return your email. If I don't answer within 2 business days, send me another email, send it back to the top of my email, okay? Because the inbox get crazy, y'all. I'm gonna have a VA soon. I don't have one now, so blame my head, not my heart. Coaching is closed for the year. In the new year, you can go to trillandba.com/coaching and you can schedule time. The prices have gone up, so don't be over there having sticker shock. I've made y'all too much money and it is time. So with that said, I hope you guys are resting and you got rest and you're going to have a great week ahead. And we are so close to Christmas break. It's just going to be amazing. And we are going to sleep and rest and be at peace. So until next time, my friends, keep it trill. The Trill and BA Show is a Fair World Corp LLC production. Executive produced by Felicia and Rose Inuha. Sound design and editing by Chris Mann with Podshaper. Theme music is Kick Push by Ryan Little. Keep it trill every day, y'all.